When you think of American political scandals, your mind probably jumps straight to Watergate, Iran-Contra, or maybe the Clinton-Lewinsky saga. Huge stories filled with drama. But here's the thing, not every political scandal is about treason, bribery, or global crises. Some of them, they're so stupid, so ridiculous, that you honestly wonder how they ever became national news in the first place. Today we're diving deep into the 13 dumbest scandals in US political history, the ones that remind us that sometimes the most powerful people in the world can be undone by the pettiest, strangest, and downright dumbest mistakes. 1. The Petticoat Affair, 1829. Andrew Jackson's presidency nearly collapsed over dinner parties. It all started when Margaret Peggy Eaton, the wife of Jackson's Secretary of War, was accused by Washington's elite women of being immoral because she married quickly after her husband's death. The wives of Jackson's cabinet members refused to socialize with her. Instead of focusing on running the country, Jackson spent months defending Peggy's honor, fighting his own cabinet members' families and rearranging his staff. The drama got so intense it became known as the Petticoat Affair. Imagine the White House crumbling because of a social snub. That was real American history. 2. Grover Cleveland's secret baby, 1884. In the heat of the 1884 presidential election, Grover Cleveland was hit with a scandal. Newspapers revealed he had fathered a child out of wedlock with a woman named Maria Halpin. His opponents chanted, "Mama, where's my pa" at rallies. Cleveland admitted to the affair but claimed he wasn't sure if he was the father because Halpin had allegedly been involved with multiple men. Shockingly, instead of being destroyed by the scandal, Cleveland won the presidency. His sup. 3. Teapot Dome, oil and bribery, 1920s. The 1920s gave us flappers jazz and one of the dumbest scandals in US history. Secretary of the Interior Albert Fall secretly leased federal oil reserves at a place called Teapot Dome, Wyoming, to private companies in exchange for massive bribes. It was the biggest political scandal of its era. But here's the dumb part, Fall didn't even try to hide it. He suddenly started buying ranches, cars, and livestock. Everyone around him noticed his mysterious new wealth. For Richard Nixon's Checkers speech, 1952. Before Watergate, there was a different Nixon scandal. In 1952, Nixon was accused of using a political fund for personal expenses. His career looked doomed. Then Nixon went on live television and gave what became known as the Checkers speech. He denied wrongdoing but admitted one gift he would never return, a dog named Checkers given to his daughters. Americans melted. The scandal evaporated overnight, all because Nixon said he loved his dog. It was both brilliant. 5. The Billy Beer Scandal, 1970s. Jimmy Carter's presidency faced foreign policy nightmares, but the scandal that stuck, his younger brother Billy Carter was loud, drunk, and proud of it. He endorsed a beer called Billy Beer, which turned out to taste so terrible it became a national joke. Then it got worse. Billy accepted $220,000 from the Libyan government to lobby for them in Washington. Congress investigated Billygate and Carter had to publicly distance himself from his own brother. The Dumbs. 6. Gary Hart and the Monkey Business Yacht, 1987. In 1987, Gary Hart was the Democratic frontrunner for president. When rumors spread about him having affairs, Hart arrogantly told reporters, "Follow me around. You'll be bored." Challenge accepted. Within days, photographers caught him with a young woman named Donna Rice on a yacht literally called Monkey Business. The pictures sank his campaign instantly. The man who could have been president in 1988 became a political punchline. 7. The John Edwards love child, 2008. Senator John Edwards ran for president in 2004 and 2008, branding himself as a family man with a cancer-stricken wife. But behind the scenes, he was having an affair with a campaign worker who gave birth to his child. Edwards denied it repeatedly. Even when tabloids published evidence, he called it a smear campaign. Eventually, DNA tests forced him to admit the truth. His career was over, and the scandal was dubbed one of the dumbest political self-destructions in modern history. 8. The Bridgegate Scandal, 2013. In New Jersey, Governor Chris Christie's administration was accused of deliberately closing lanes on the George Washington Bridge to punish a mayor who refused to endorse Christie. The result, a traffic jam so massive that emergency vehicles couldn't get through. Think about that, one of the dumbest political scandals in US history was literally about creating the worst rush hour in America. 10. President Harding's love letters, 1920s. Warren G. Harding's presidency was riddled with scandals, but one of the dumbest surfaced decades later. In the 1960s, his secret love letters were published, revealing not just affairs, but embarrassingly bad poetry. Harding wrote to his mistress about their carnal souls and even gave nicknames to his private parts. One letter mentioned Jerry, his not-so... 11. Sarah Palin's $150,000 wardrobe, 2008. When John McCain picked Sarah Palin as his running mate in 2008, the Republican campaign quickly faced a bizarre scandal. They had spent $150,000 on her clothes and makeup. Critics pounced, saying she was out of touch with average Americans. The dumbest part, after the campaign, most of the clothes ended up in storage unused. A national scandal over outfits that barely got worn. 12. The tan suit scandal, 2014. In 2014, President Barack Obama held a press conference about foreign policy while wearing a tan suit. That's it. That's the scandal. Conservative pundits called it unpresidential and shocking. Social media exploded. Meanwhile, Obama just stood there talking about Syria, probably wondering why people cared more about his suit than his actual policies. It remains one of the pettiest scandals in modern US history. 30. The internet erupted. The fly on Mike Pence's head, 2020. During the 2020 vice presidential debate, something happened that completely stole the show. A fly landed on Mike Pence's head and stayed there for over 2 minutes. Mimi's Twitter accounts for the fly late-night jokes. Some people even spun conspiracy theories about what it symbolized. Technically, it wasn't Pence's fault. But in the age of viral scandals, a fly became more memorable than anything he said that night. From dinner parties and love children to traffic jams and tan suits, these scandals show us something important. Political history isn't just shaped by wars, policies, or elections. Sometimes it's shaped by sheer stupidity, because when the most powerful people in America get caught up in the dumbest drama, the whole world notices. In the age of social media, the blunders of politicians can spread like wildfire, captivating audiences and overshadowing serious issues. The public's fascination with these moments reveals a strange truth. Sometimes it's the mistakes that become the most memorable chapters in political lore.